TV. My name is Bruno Edgard. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday morning, the 1st of February 2023. Now, we are continuing with certain themes here, and when it comes to the theme that we are continuing with, that is indeed education. Remember, results have been released. That's PLE results, and there are a lot of questions about the performance. Some areas the performance was good, other areas the performance was not so good, and so we are talking about how can we have a better education sector in this country. But also, apart from education, there is still the issue of health. How can we improve when it comes to the health sector in our country? And those are the discussions that we are having today. Now, of course, Issues at Hand is proudly brought to you by Protea Hotel in Tebe, and you still have the opportunity before your children go back to school to have a family day out. Go to Protea Hotel in Tebe, make your reservation and booking today, then go there and enjoy the amenities that are on offer. The number is on the screen. Now, today we are going to focus on particular place when it comes to our discussion on the state of health and education, and we are focusing chiefly on Kira Municipality. And but as the conversation goes on, you're going to see that these issues don't only affect Kira Municipality alone, but extend to the country as a whole. So the solutions that we talk about today may work for other municipalities and regions in this country as well. Now, joining me on Issues at Hand this morning to discuss these key issues is Honorable Nakafeero Rose Ssukka, who is in charge of education and health. That is in Kira Municipality. Thank you for joining us on Issues at Hand.
Thank you, Bruno, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. Nakafeero Rose, as Bruno has said, and I'm the Minister of Health and Education, Kira Municipal Council. I welcome you to this program, and more especially I greet my people from Kira Municipality, the #1 municipal council in Uganda, according to the assessment from the Prime Minister's Office 2021.
Fantastic. Yes. And we shall start from there. What does your role entail when it comes to the Minister of Health in Kira Municipal Council?
Kira Municipal Council, as a minister, I supervise all health centers. It is a big ministry, so I have to see all government-aided institutions or health units. I see their performance. I call upon I held meetings, and I report everything concerning health and education to the executive and to the council. Yes.
Fantastic. So you are the right person to talk to when it comes to these issues. But before we talk about health, which I know you are very well versed in, something else that you're also versed in is education. Now, recently, the PLE results were released, and we saw there was an increase and improved performance, especially in accordance with the past couple of years, but we also saw a lot of failures, especially in candidates who are ungraded. So my question to you is, as a minister from Kira Municipality, what is the state of education when it comes to the municipality?
First of all, Bruno, allow me to congratulate all our children that sat for PLE last year, and also congratulate more all our children that performed well. Bruno, the education system is changing very fast, and the direction it is taking, I'm sure, is not a nice one. Because now parents think that if a child has not got a 4 or 5, has not performed, which is very bad. You find a child who has struggled, he has a 6, and parents think that has not performed well, which is very wrong. Our children put in a lot. They spend sleepless nights, and she struggles or he struggles and gets a 6, 7, 8, or any first grade, and you think the child has not performed. I shouldn't say that all children who get 4s or 5s are the successful children. There is a bigger or broader picture we have to show to our children down there, that getting a 4 is so good, but it's not it all. Even if you get a 9, you can be a successful person. So I'm telling my dear parents down there that show our children that even if they've not got a 4, even if she has the first grade, they can as well prosper and be successful in this world.
But isn't that because of the fact that, well, you're right, and at the end of the day, success has many other keys involved, and education is one of them. However, when it comes to the performance, and why a lot of us are looking at the performance is because it will instruct, for instance, where these children are going to study when it comes to secondary school education, especially in the quality of the school that they are going to.
That's why most schools are now changing. Yes, they give priority to their children who gave them first choice, but I'm seeing these so-called first-class schools are changing. You're seeing Namagunga, Gayaza, Namgong, they are giving children with 6, 7, 8, just because they know most traditional schools are not getting those 4s. And they are saying, I'm seeing on certain platforms, they are saying that some of those 4s are not genuine. They are leaving out their children who can go down there and perform well. You can find a child from down in Chirinya with 8 or 9, and they come to these big schools and perform even better than those children with 4s. For us in Kira Municipality, I should thank all the head teachers and teachers that we performed well. And for me, I'm very proud because all our exams came back well, though I'm looking at a picture where we're having 97,000 children who were not graded. Now we think of a child who is 14, 13. Where is that child going to go? Many will not even go to institutions, because taking a child to an institution who is 13 years is also a problem. Will they manage to go back to P7? So as the education system, the ministry, you have to do a lot. A lot of effort has to be done to see that at least our children go somewhere, or at least they can go back to P7 and return something.
That's good, but doesn't that paint a picture in terms of those ungraded candidates that there's something innately wrong with the way that we are delivering education to these candidates? Does the teaching need to be better? What needs to be better, especially when it comes to your municipality?
As Kira Municipality, the performance was good. And yesterday, I was at Namgong Girls. They have 21 4s. They are saying there are many schools down there that are having modified 4s. I don't know why they are saying modified, I don't know. But for me, I'm not after those 4s. I'm looking at a child. Let's groom a child who can, that's why I'm giving you a picture that Kira performed well. I want to see a child who can go in this competitive world and at least be somewhere and do something. Let's not look at these first and 4 and 5s. There is a broader thing, there is something better those children can do other than getting that 4. Those children with 9s are going to be even more successful, and that is what I encourage my children down when I go to schools. I tell them, even you struggle a lot to get a 4, but even if you've not got a 4, you can perform much better in secondary and in higher institutions. Last time I was reading in Daily Monitor, someone was telling me that a child got 13 and she was beaten by the parents very badly. But in Uganda, she was the best. In senior 6 results, she was the best. So now, parents, we need to just encourage our children. As Kira Municipal Council, Namugongo Girls was the best school in government-aided schools. It performed with a 91.9% first grades, which is very good. And for me, those 16, 20 children, I'm also proud of them, and I encourage them that they can even do better when they go to secondary school. Yes, we have so many schools which are UPE schools, like Kamuli CU, they performed so well. Far, far, far better than the private schools. So as Kira, we are proud of our government-aided schools, and they really performed well. You go to Kira primary, they performed well. Yes.
And as other regions in this country, maybe there's something to learn from the municipality because, for instance, the mayor of Kampala, that's Erias Lukwago, was talking about how the fact that maybe UPE schools should be scrapped because especially the ones in Kampala who are not performing well. And so you have been saying the UPE schools in Kira Municipality have performed well. How is Kira doing this? What can we learn from Kira Municipality when it comes to making sure that other government-aided schools in other regions and other UPE schools in other regions perform well?
Bruno, success or performance shouldn't be left for children only. It is a collective effort. Children, the teachers, and even as parents, we do a lot to see that our children succeed. So most of the parents leave their part they are supposed to play in education sector and leave it to the teacher and the child. For us, we show ourselves that we are so busy, but you remember the burden is going to come back to you after the graduation of this child, or even after dropping out, or after getting these into these bad groups, the vices we are having. So it's upon parents to play their role, because the teachers do. Teachers play their roles and our children do read. So now it is us parents to also play our role to see how our children perform. Go to school, ask your teacher, attend meetings. Schools call for meetings, but parents don't go there. You look for where your child has a weakness. Identify the weakness. You would ask the teacher of your child, where and how can we help our child for the better results that I expect from the child. But you're putting nothing, just fees, and you think that you will get a better output. Let's play our role as parents so that we get the best out of our children.
And what are the challenges? Because yes, you are congratulating the schools in a municipality who have done exceptionally well, but what are the challenges the municipality has faced when it comes to the education sector, and what are the challenges as a whole that you're seeing as the education sector in Uganda is facing?
As Kira Municipal Council, or as Kira Municipality, it's the area that most of the people who work in Kampala reside. It's a residential area, and it habitates most of the people who work in Kampala. So you will find that during COVID period, many families were affected. And we saw that trend from private schools to government. The population to government schools was very high. So even up to now, you find most of the government-aided schools have a very high population. We are giving their infrastructures, but the need is even higher than what we can afford. You will find a school with 3,000 children, when the capacity is 20,000. So now we are doing a lot as Kira Municipal Council to give out classroom blocks, to give out desks, toilets. But our capacity cannot meet the demands. But we are doing our best, and I thank our Mayor, Julius Ssukka, because at least we are putting education and health as a priority in Kira Municipal Council. The last financial year, we gave out 2 classroom blocks to Chirinya CU, Chireka Umea, Chira Primary School, a toilet. We renovated Chirinya Catholic, Chireka Army. So we do a lot. We supervise, we monitor, and say exactly what we gave that school is really done. Yes, it's not, we don't leave it to the site engineers or the works department. We as leaders, even the mayor himself, he goes there, the town clerk, to see that at least these projects are well done and well monitored according to expectations. Yes. So
there's a lot of capacity building and funding needed for schools, not just in the municipality, but in Uganda
all over
well,
Uganda.
If the education sector is going to improve.
It's a lot, but it's not only because as the population grows, it means that you need teachers, more teachers. You need infrastructures.
But talking about teachers, for instance, especially when it comes to the side of government, one of the issues we have seen is that the difficulty when it comes to government paying teachers' salaries, especially with the increase in salaries as provided by the bargaining agreement. So how can we build the capacity of teachers so that our students can get better service delivery in terms of education?
Education, I should say, those we have NGOs that help during holidays. For the education sector, we should say it's all upon the education officers, the head teachers, to help their teachers to use this holiday time to go back and study, because at least they have those programs. They can go back and upgrade and upgrade their certificates and whatever award. But with the health sector, it becomes a problem, because a health staff has to be there 24/7. Which is a different case with the teachers. Teachers have that holiday where which they can use to upgrade. Yes.
All right. And something that has shocked and rocked the education sector in the past couple of weeks is the issue of homosexuality in schools. What is your take on that?
Homosexuality has also affected Kira Municipal Council. It is bad to say so, but this is the truth. And as Kira Municipal Council, we sat as the executive and thought about getting a banguliro ly'omwana, a banguliro. And this is a program that is starting in this 2023, whereby we want to see that we meet all our school-going children and talk to the children, because parents, all over the municipality, and we are going also to welcome other children from outside Kira. But this program is not only going to tackle the vices of homosexuality. Even HIV/AIDS is still there, and other many diseases. We have the drugs. Children are now taking drugs, but those things are so silent. You will just realize that your children are doing that when it is on apex, when you cannot reverse it, or when it is going to be very hard to reverse it. So it's now us as leaders to intervene and help our children. So that is why we are starting this program. We are going to tell our head teachers to tell the parents that they really need this program. Yeah, Ella, we meet every beginning of the year or term. We make our municipal education officer calls on all the head teachers in Kira Municipality, and we meet. We discuss our progress and the challenges we face in our schools. Very soon, next week, we have that meeting. We are going to talk about all that and all the challenges we have as a municipality.
What will that program that will be sensitizing students look like? What will be happening in that program? And what do you look to achieve from that program as well?
Most of these initiatives that come sometimes have a focus. Sometimes they are on HIV, they are on drugs, but now it's like a family. This is our own. We have to tackle development, health. We want to see that full-built child. A child that can live in the Uganda we are having today, because the pace our country is running is very fast. So now we want a child that even if you've not got a job, as Mr. Bruno has, can really fit in the society. You can use the little capital and at least go somewhere. We have that picture in our children that if I don't get a 6-digit salary, I can't work. but we want to tell our children that they can start small, they can live a happy life without joining those vices. Because we hear that those people pay well our children, and those are the things that entice our children to go to those peers and whatever. So now we need to open up our eyes. And I'm telling our parents down there that please play your role as parents. You're shying away from telling our children what is happening, and this is driving our country backwards. It is very unfortunate because these things started in the Western world. We heard about them that wives are woman to woman marriage in Western world. We never thought that it will come to Africa, but now it is even inside our houses, and we don't know. You will come to know when that thing has really exploded. This is becoming a problem. You parents down there, you're saying, you go, you do that, but these things are inside your houses. And for us, we started some time back talking to the children. But what our children are telling us, Bruno, it is very bad. During that period of COVID, children were mistreated, were abused. You find a child, there is a girl who is 14. She got pregnant. And the uncle was using her, uncle, on daily basis. But these were rich to-do families. And they never knew what was happening. For me, Bruno, I'm so much selfish with my children. I don't allow them even to go for those sleepovers and what. This is what parents have to do. The world has become wild. So parents down there, I urge you, please, I beg you to help our children. Talk to them. Some have gone back to school, but we have the primary going children who are going over this weekend. Please talk to our children. They will listen to you. At least let the teachers just add on what you tell them, because you'll be the one who will be affected the more. Don't be busy. At least pay a day and talk to the children.
Indeed. Now, on that very note, you've spoken about how you're going to engage the students and the children. But as the executive, how are you looking forward to engaging parents so that they can know the very things you've just spoken about having quality time with children and discipling children, so that these vices are stripped away and scrapped from schools?
Bruno, first of all, I'll thank the executive of Kira, headed by Mayor Julius Mutebi, that we have school management committees in each and every school, and each school was allocated a counselor from the municipality. Basically, we want to get to the core, what is really happening in those schools. So we expect reports from those counselors. We get to know the problems of each and every school through those counselors. And they really help us to see that what we talk in council, we are at the same line. They communicate to the parents and teachers in those schools. Though as we also go there as the executive and talk to the parents. But we go through, because sometimes we can fail to go there on each and every school. So that is why we are using fellow councillors from their areas of their electorates to go to those schools, talk to the parents, attend parents' meetings, and express and know their problems and report back to the council.
Indeed, and we pray that there are more improvements when it comes to the health sector in Kira Municipality and other regions in the country. Now, that's education, but coming home to the issue of health. Now, it always seems in Uganda, in many of our sectors, when you win the battle but you lose the war, because we have overcome COVID-19. Last year we overcame Ebola, and now we are having more issues in the health sector. The latest issue is the fact that we do not have enough drugs in the country, and it affects every region in the country, and this is a very red light for the health sector in this country. So in light of that and other things, especially when it comes to the plight of head workers, issues issues with of health workers, issues with salaries, with allowances. How is Kira Municipality doing on that matter of health?
Kira Municipality has 6 health units that are government aided. We have Kira Health Center 4 that has been recently elevated to a health center 4. It has been a health center 3, and we thank the government that at least has given us buildings to accommodate the health center 4. But for us as Kira, as I'm telling you, the population is growing very fast. We still have the health center 2s. Health center 3 does not have theaters. We don't operate on people. So now it's very challenging for a mother to go to a health center where she knows that maybe somehow, somewhere, things can go wrong and maybe need operation. But now I'm in a health center where there is no a theater. So now, though this health center 4 is going to have 3 theaters, but as Kira Municipality, for us, we are even saying that Kira Municipality should even become a tourism city. Because a health center 3 means we have to refer complicated situations to either Mulago or Nagulu. You will see that those hospitals will be highly populated because of us. Our population is very high. So we are telling the government that at least, because instead of giving us a health center 4, why don't they give us a hospital? If Kira has a very big hospital, it can depopulate people who go to Mulago and Nagulu. So now, for us, we think as Kira Municipality, we should have our health center 4 as a full hospital. Yes. Then we have Boyogerere Health Center 3. But we have a problem of land. Some of our health centers are not on a very small land. So in case we want expansion, it means that we are either going to build going upwards, or sometimes we fail even to implement certain programs that we are supposed to do. Because the government has a plan that we need such and such structures. So if you don't have where to put them, then you lose that. So sometimes you see that we take even long to do decisions, because even area councillors can say, no, for us we want this institution because it was given to us from the government, but then you don't have land where to put it. So we are challenged that as the health sector, our health units, most of them need land for expansion. But at the same time, we need health workers. You'll find that like at Kira Health Center 3, in the maternity side, we have only 2 nurses. You find someone working from morning, goes to the night shift. Really, a normal person cannot do 24 hours. And remember, there are only 2. Sometimes they want also to go to their families. So you'll find that someone works for a week. They work in a week, and another one also works the other week, which becomes a problem. You will find that we'll also refer some of the some of the patients because cannot work on them. The population is very high, and we have a shortage of staff. Yes.
And on that very note of health workers, apart from that issue of there being a shortage, what other issues are they raising? Are they the same in terms of other health workers in other government facilities who might be outside Kira Municipality who are raising issues of allowances and salaries?
Yeah, but the biggest problem we have in our health department, you'll find that the drugs come late. And when they come, sometimes you find that our doctors tell us that they put a list of what they need, but the ministry have what they want to offer. You find that in some health units, because of regional differences, you find that like Kira needs drugs for malaria and maybe HIV, those infections, but someone from Gulu has a different case. But now the ministry has the same, it is following the same program. The medicine is giving to Arua, it is the same giving to Kira. Now you'll find that some drugs are there, not used, when actually we need other drugs. Yes, so it becomes a very big problem. That's why you find, because of the population, because of what, you find that we have so many patients that are not attended to because of the shortage. Yes. You find we even use like a quarter. Those are the 3 months. We are supposed to have drugs that can run us to 3 months, but we use it in 1 month. You find when all those 2 months we don't have drugs, which becomes a problem to us. And you will blame a nurse that you've not worked on a patient, but now they are not drugs. They will come, we prescribe, and you can't buy. Because, we can't allow them to sell medicine or drugs there. So now it becomes just a structure that cannot do much. Yes.
How about when it comes to equipment for health workers? For example, during the fight against Ebola and even COVID-19, we saw that a lot of health workers were struggling because there were not enough PPEs and protective equipment. Is this an issue that the municipality is also facing?
Yeah, it is facing, because as the health ministry, we have a shortage all over Uganda. Not only for drugs, but everything that is supposed to be used in those health centers. The ministry has to do a lot. Let them go down there, let them monitor, let them supervise, let them identify the key drugs that are needed in those health centers. At least they see that the medicine and the drugs that are needed are put in those specific health units. Yes, but even all other things are also a problem to Kira's the health sector.
And as the minister in charge, what are you doing to improve the health sector in Kira Municipality?
For us, as I've told you, we monitor, we see that at least our staff do what they are supposed to do. But the problems that we are facing, we have to air them out. Like now we use Erai, thank you so much, Bruno, and the media fraternity, that you help us a lot. You're the ones that help us to air out our problems, and the ministry come to know. So we use the media, we use every time we get to put up tell out to the ministry the problems we are facing as the municipality and the whole health sector at large. Yes.
Going back to the issue of health facilities at the municipality being understaffed, what are you doing to help that situation in terms of getting more people to work? Because I'm sure there are many health workers out there who are looking for an opportunity to start serving in a health facility.
These problems don't, for us, we put in our request for what we need, but then the ministry.
Funding.
Yes, funding, but at the same time, the ministry says that health center 3s are supposed to have such and such staff, whether your population is very low or very high. Now you imagine Kira, with the population we have, to be with the same staff with someone from, I should say, Karamoja. Our population is very high. You expect so many patients, but now they are saying you're supposed to have 2 midwives at the station. For us, you can find the municipalities like a district elsewhere, according in terms of population. But now for them, they have the same. They are following their same structures, which is a problem. They should consider populated areas differently compared to other areas. Yes. So now you can say that you've not worked on the staff, but it is laid properly that health center 3 is supposed to have A, B, C, D, and that is what you have. But still, we cannot, the staff cannot afford the population we have. Yes.
And what would you like to see be done when, apart from that, apart from getting more staff, what else would you like to see improved this year when it comes to the health sector in Kira Municipality?
Let the ministry work on the drugs. That is the best, the most challenging problem we have. Then let them consider, as I've said, the population, populated municipalities and districts differently. 2, let them work on the infrastructures. Elevation of health center twos. Health center twos work on minor issues, but we still have them. Let them give us structures to elevate. Let them help us with the health center 4, Kira Health Center 4, to be upgraded or be elevated to a hospital. At least Kira, I will be very glad to say hospital when I'm still the Minister Health in Kira Municipality.
Indeed, and we pray that that happens in our lifetime, because that will be good. But not just for Kira Municipality, but other municipalities as well. And we would like the health sector to grow as a whole in this country, as it is imperative to the livelihoods and the life of every Ugandan citizen. And still continuing on the line of education, Honorable, we are going back to school. It's back to school proper. What are some of the things both as not just both, but as parents, as children, and as school administrators or owners, we need to be aware of as school reopens for the first time?
As schools are opening, Bruno, some parents take their children to schools because their neighbors or their friends or family members have taken their children there. You find some sell even their property because they want their children to go to certain schools. Why do you take a child to a school that needs 4-5 millions when there are other better schools that are performing well, but you strain and stretch to where you cannot afford? So I urge parents, please take our children to schools that you can afford. There is no need of taking children to schools because of the name or because of their performance. A child can perform in each and every school as long as that school has the necessities for a school. So please, parents, take children to our nearby schools, our schools in Kira, as also we expect better performance, even far better than the P7s come the results of S4 and Senior 6. Yes. And
it's interesting that I've had many even councillors say that, especially when it comes to parents, paying school fees that they can handle. Now, I know for many of us as parents, we want the best for our children. We want them to go to the best schools, to have the best in quality education. And so sometimes we may be tempted to stretch beyond our means, but it's important, like you're saying, because school fees can become an issue, and we do not want to become defaulters because our children really need the education.
And even dropping out.
Exactly. Which, by the way, we saw a lot of dropouts in terms of the cycle of the candidates from these results that have been that have just finished. We saw that between P1 and P7 in this last cycle, there are around 1 million students who dropped out of school, or who either dropped out of school or didn't finish for whatever reason. And so that's a very big issue. And I would like to know, as Kira Municipality, how are you addressing this issue? What are you doing what are you putting in place to make sure that those who start in P1 finish the race in P7?
We urge teachers, and I usually tell them to do the follow-up of their children, to identify. That's why I was also telling them to identify those children who got pregnant. Make sure that those children who dropped out of school are back to school. We did that, and I thank our municipal education officer, because he helped us a lot to follow that up. When it comes to fees, I thank the many schools that are giving us bursaries. Bruno, you find a good school that pays $1 million and gives you a bursary of 60% reduced. You pay only for 40%. These schools have helped us a lot, and some have even given us full bursaries. They are not only schools from Kira, some are even outside. And I thank, is it Sumaya Girls School has given us bursaries, so many bursaries to Kira Municipality. So I thank such schools, and I call upon parents to come to the Deputy Mayor's office. You'll get these bursaries. These are very good schools. Let your children go to school. Don't stretch where you cannot afford.
What are the qualifications or the requirements needed to a parent to get these bursaries for their children?
Bursaries are given to people who are in Kira, but also we need children who are performing fairly well. But the qualification is, the performance is not a big issue. We need our children back to school. That is the best thing, yes. For the full bursaries, those with fours, we have some schools that are also taking up those children, yes, on full bursaries.
Is this, and I know later on during this month, and as the year progresses, SPO results are going to be released. So does that extend to secondary students as well, or is it just for primary education?
No, like Sumaya is a secondary school. We have other schools there. Let parents come, and very good schools, by the way. We have half bursaries. Children are paying 400,000. We also have an institution, Luwero School of Nursing. It's also giving us bursaries for nurses. It's a half bursary. They are paying 800,000. Yes, so let our children come and benefit from these bursaries. I thank the mayor who went down there to get most of these bursaries. Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, that's advice to parents. How about to school administrators and school owners?
School administrators, let's join hands with this economy that is down. Everything is a mess. Let's help our parents to pay in installments. There is no way you're telling a parent who has been there for you in all the periods, and the COVID period, as you've been with them. Why do you tell those parents to pay full amount of money, full fees?
Well, if I'm to put on the hat of a school owner, I would tell you as a parent that you have to understand that it's costly to operate, to run these schools, especially in this very same economy that you've raised, and that may be why they're asking for full payment.
Bruno, these schools are not using all the money at once. You sit with the parents and draw the program, how your parent can pay. At least give them a month. You know, this, we have to join hands and go through this period together. It's not only to the parents or to the teachers, it is all about us all to go through this period at the same time. Yes.
Indeed. School administrators and operators you've had. Now, that's parents and the schools. How about children? What would you like the children to go away with when it comes to the start of the new term?
Our children, dear children, I love you so much. But as we are going back to school, for me, Bruno, I'm also a parent. And I also had a child who sat for P7.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Joanne passed with a 6, but she was so much frustrated. And she cried a lot. It was all an effort, a collective effort of parents and who talked to her to calm her down, because she knew that a 4 and 5 was the only thing she could get. Anyway, for her, she was performing well. But she used to get 4s. But at the same time, for me, I told her there is a lot you can do apart from this 4. And don't think that all the successful children get 4s. You can find when most of the the children who get 4s drop out even of school. We are following that trend as well. I was talking to a teacher from Chambog and was telling me that we have that research. Why is it that these 4-5 children are dropping out of school? Is it because they boast around that have got a 4? Do they feel that they are above other children? Why is it that they're dropping out of school? Is it that because of these genetically modified 4s that sometimes they go to other schools and feel that burden, they cannot afford it, and they go to the 4s? They go to those schools which perform and fail to perform to their expectations. So Chambog is also doing that research. But I'm telling our children, our parents go through a lot of hassle. They struggle a lot to get fees. So when you go back to school, please read and study. Concentrate on education. Study and achieve what you feel that your future wants to, you feel or you want to be. You have a target, look upon it, you'll achieve it.
Indeed, and we are hoping for the best for all parties concerned when it comes to the schools opening for the first term of 2023. Now, moving slightly away from the discussion on health and education, there are so many challenges that Kira Municipality is facing, one of which, surprisingly, is the issue of condominiums. What about condominiums is giving Kira Municipality a headache?
Bruno, as Kira is growing very fast, we have very many property developers. And people decided to build and sell. So now you find someone has a structure that accommodates 100 families. Kira Municipal Council has an engineering department. It gives plans, or it issues plans. But the bad thing, also Kira will tell you that we don't have enough staff to supervise each and every step those engineers are doing. So they go there once or twice during the course of construction. Now you find that we have a problem of sewage that is flowing in open place. As Kira Municipal Council, we are not going to allow our community to be like Kampala, where you find sewage flow all over Kampala. We still have a chance of planning well, and we are calling upon all those condo developers. The bad thing is that those people sell off after maybe a year. And so each and every person has a unit. So now it's all about that space as bought. Now there are other things they are sharing down there, like a septic tank, like a sock pit. So now they get management to look upon that. But now sewage is flowing in people's houses. And these developers are the so-called big people. We've gone there, we've locked those apartments, but then you find that when they are open, and even our technical people are put on pressure because most of these places are owned by big government people. There is no way you can think that you need a neat and a convenient place and think of taking sewage to other people. This is becoming a problem to us as Kira Municipal Council, but we are thinking of even taking those people to court because most of them never followed what they were supposed to follow according to their plans. Yes, so it is becoming a very big problem, and even from here, I'm coming to Nigeria. Nigeria is the most affected area of these sewage flows. People are crying, but we are going to deal with you condos. We are going to deal with you. Very soon we are coming as the health team. Yes.
It's interesting how how property developers can make life complicated for other other citizens who are staying in those areas. So it's important that we all play our part and we follow the instructions from our leaders when it comes to anything concerning property, schools, health, so that we can all have a prosperous municipality for those in Kira, and then a prosperous country as a whole. And because we have run out of time, in closing, what would you like our family members, our viewers, to go home with when it comes to the issues of health and education?
First of all, let me thank the Kira family, headed by the Mayor Kira and our town clerk Benon, that these people have really put in a lot to see that Kira becomes the best municipality. All the staff of Kira, the council, headed by the speaker, Mr. Semukuye, I greet you all, and I thank you for the effort you're doing for the betterment of our municipality. But to the parents down there, I know you're going through hassle and a lot of hassle, by the way, because everything is high. Books are very high. You find some schools ask for things that are even of higher value compared to the fees. So I call upon parents to go and talk to the head teachers and find a way of paying in installments, but don't leave our children at home. I also urge our children to please go to school and study. Yes, I greet also the Nigeria fraternity, members of the executive, and the whole council at large. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable, for addressing those two issues. And we know that if we all do our roles and play our part, that all these issues will be sorted, and that health and education will be prosperous indeed in our communities and in our country. And we are praying for all parents, by the way, that as you prepare to pay school fees, to take children back to school, that God will supply all your needs and all our needs according to his riches in glory. And that was issues at hand for today. We are going to return on Friday.
I thank also the Family TV fraternity for inviting me here. I thank you so much. I'm honored.
We're honored as well. Yes, we're going to return on Friday with issues at hand. But for now, it's goodbye from us. God richly bless you, and see you on Friday.